The books have put the Cincinnati Bengals at 9.5. I'll go down some stats here. So Pro Football Focus ranked their offense 12th and their defense 21st last year. I got to be honest, 21st seems like a gift. That defense, I just remember that defense being so awful.
Bad.
Special teams was first. So if you're trying to build on something, you could say, oh, our special teams is good. Off-season moves, not a lot, man. They brought some people back, but Samaje Perine is like the big offensive explosion.
The big piece. Yeah.
Listen, Burrow is. I gotta be honest. This Burrow wrist thing is becoming a concern. Is this permanent? The offensive line hasn't gotten any better, at least from what I can tell. This was a team that ended up 9-8 last year. Initial thoughts on this total here before we go to the schedule, because again, the schedule, you can't take a lot away from it, but you can certainly take some away from it. So we'll go over in that a second. What was your initial thoughts on this total?
Yeah, I think the crazy thing is when you're looking at this total is you would have thought last year, that the sky fell out or, the bottom fell out for this team. The crazy thing is 7 of their 8 losses last year were 1 score, Andy. So even with how bad that defense was, this team just always hung around. So if the ball bounces different, if that defense actually does muster up one stop here or there, you could have flipped the script and this team's 14-3. So I'm with you. Yes. I mean, I'm just saying 1 score games, Andy.
14
1 score games. If they win all those 1 score games, they have 14 wins. Obviously, okay, even cut them in half, Andy. Okay, so they win half of those games, right? You're looking at a different team who gets a playoff, who gets a bye. So this team isn't as bad as it seemed on paper. The one thing that I was kind of hoping when I was looking at the schedule was they finish, 3rd in the division, so maybe that gives them a 3rd place schedule. Doesn't feel like a 3rd place schedule. Okay, maybe out of the gate you have 2 easy games to start off, but this is not an easy schedule by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think Zac Taylor is a good coach. I think part of what's holding them back outside of the Burrow wrist injury is the fact that they just keep bringing this guy back. Is there a team that keeps a guy around longer than they should, than the Cincinnati Bengals, to just live in that mediocrity? It's a damn shame, because it feels like the Super Bowl season is ancient history for this team. But if Joe Burrow's wrist is really a chronic issue, it's under. If it's not, it's over. I mean, this team goes how Joe Burrow goes. That's how, you end up with 7 1-score losses. It sure as hell wasn't the defense. What I will say, Andy, how I want to bet this team totals of the teams playing against them over, especially the bad teams. That's my little tip to you for Cincinnati Bengals. Week 1, I'm taking that team total over. When they play the Jags, I'm taking that team total over for the team against them. I think this defense is awful, and I think the way that they play offensively, airing it out, 1-score drives, one play scoring drives, it lends itself to overs. And do I want to play the inflated totals? No, I want to play the bad teams that everyone who thinks sucks. First quarter overs. So that's my tip to attack this team. But Andy, as far as the season total goes, I actually lean towards over that 9.5, because I think they're going to punch down in the division. They're going to beat up on the Browns. They're going to beat up on the Steelers and make it a 2-horse race against the Ravens. And you've seen the Ravens. It's not like they've absolutely dominated this division year in and year out. So I think this should be 10.5 truly. So give me the 9.5 over. I feel like you and I are going to blows on this one, but the team totals, betting this team over, that's the way that I'm going to be betting the Bengals. But as far as the lean goes, I think 9.5 is too low. I think the Bengals have a bounce back. Some of those games, the 1-score games, go their way this year. Give me the over.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at their schedule. At Browns to start off with, then Jags, at Vikings, at Broncos, then Lions, at Packers, Steelers on a short week. That's a bummer of a scheduling spot, because the Steelers should be beatable for them, but to get them on a short week is a bummer. Then they go Jets, Bears. They have their bye week. They have a tough stretch here at Steelers, Patriots, at Ravens, at Bills. Ravens, Bills, Ravens is about as brutal as it gets there. At Dolphins, who knows what that team's going to look like. Then Cardinals and then Browns. That's a nice one to end the season. Predicting injuries is not easy to do unless you did it with Tyrese Halliburton. Back there.
Goat call.
Yeah, thank you.
Goat's going to go.
I'm terrified of this Joe Burrow wrist thing.
Yeah, that's the concern.
This is terrifying.
Because without Burrow, this team's dead.
They're dead in the water. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I see tough games. I'm with you that the one-score games should revert back. I just cannot trust the health of Joe Burrow. For that reason and that reason only, I'm going with the under on this one. If Burrow misses a few games or if he's just not 100%, as you said, this team goes, but he does. And this is I think it's the cheapest team. They spend no money. They don't do anything to upgrade. The stories of when players leave about are just TJ Hushmanzada's story about how they would just throw their cups in after practice and they get them all washed together and they just throw them out in a pile and you had to go get one. It's one of the most insane stories I've ever heard.
That is crazy.
But it's classic Bengals. Classic Bengals. Yeah, add in a bad defense. But you're right, man. You're right. The team totals,
especially early, because I think it's going to get adjusted. But like week 1, who is it? Roger Long pointed out a really good point. They're in Cleveland, and also that's where they play bad. You think that defense is going to play all that? Like there is nothing that excites me about this defense. Like there's nothing they did in the offseason that makes you say, oh, this will be better. What is it? The fact that they've completely blown, what they're doing with their edge rusher. He doesn't want to be there. So yeah, I think team total overs against bad teams are going to be some of my favorite wagers this year.
Let's do it. Let's concentrate on this team to go the defense.
Week 1, Andy, when you and I do like a little breakdown, probably heading into the weekend, Andy and I will do a little prop breakdown on NFL props, things like that. So put a little mark in it. We're coming for you, Bengals team total, or opponents of Bengals team total overs. We're coming for you.
Flacco's a starting quarterback, you better believe I'm taking his over 1.5 touchdown passes. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But for purposes of this one, Dan's gonna lean the over, Andy's gonna lean the under. So, do you have that?
All
chart
things
ready?
Are back to normal, Andy. We're back to not agreeing on anything.